everybody, this is WooFDriver, and I am back at you. I apologize. We, a little bit more technical difficulties. This is not the easiest task. I'm trying to free range as we roll. Come on, guys! Boys, gotta get the dogs a little excited here. We're on a farm with over 500 acres to run and have a good time with, and that's pretty much what we're gonna do. Come on, guys! Good boys. So, hope you're able to join us. We've got all four of the wolf pack here. Chase is right in front, who you're watching now. We've got Jag, Princess, and Zorro behind me. And beautiful day out here. Probably high 60s, maybe low 70s. Come on, guys. It started off really wet and rainy. And weren't sure we were going to get here. Come on, Jag. So the wolf pack's just having a blast, running all over. If you have any questions, please go ahead and ask me. Chase is coming right up. He's getting right in front of the camera. Here comes Zorro now. We've got Princess. Come on, guys. Princess and Jag lagging behind. And sometimes they lag behind because they just pick up on a scent. They're taking a bathroom break, whatever the case may be. They will catch up, or I will tone page them, which is like a pager, where I can page them built into the collar, built into the GPS collars. It's a tone, so it's a sound. And that's how they do it. That's how we do it. So, all you got to be careful of when you're doing this is the dog shouldn't have fun if they do that. And they trust me very much because I'm always cognizant of where they're at. If you have any questions, I can pretty much read the screen. It's a little sunny out here, but it is right in front of me. So I'd love to answer them for you. Last time we did this, we broadcast with a wide angle. Now I'm trying a narrow angle so you get a better view of the dogs. Right in front of me now is Chase and Zorro. And again, we're on a farm that's got about 500 acres that we can roam free, run free, and have a great time. The only thing we have to be cognizant is of the equipment and wild animals. There are some farm animals here. We're on good terms with all of them, though. There's some donkeys, some Clydesdale horses. I don't know if you saw my video link I posted earlier of actually where we raced some Belgian horses. That was over at the horse track. We go to a horse track farm sometimes. We actually raced some Belgians. Belgians are pretty similar to Clydesdales. They might actually be a little bigger, and they're just awesome. Drafting horses, and they were pulling a cart, and we were pulling a dog cart. We were racing. Come on, guys! Now we got Jag coming through. He's got a little bit of brown nose. He's been digging in the fields. That's what we do here. We do it all for the dogs to do anything they want. And here comes Princess. Now, in case you didn't know, a lot of people ask me, what are the ages of the dogs? And the three males, which are to my left now, which are Zorro, Chase, and Jag, are 6 years old. And the female is Princess. She's 12. Come on, guys! Come on! Now, one more. Come on! Come on! You'll see them look over. Sometimes I fake them out. If I ride on the grass, it'll make noise. They'll be looking over there. It depends. You know, there's different means I use to get their attention. This is really cool now because you got all four of them ahead of you. I don't know if you can see it. Princess is right here in the back. She's a little... Come on, guys! Little out of range. And they just stopped to mark something where another animal has been. Surprise, surprise. I let them do pretty much whatever they want. This is, again, for them, and that's why I come here to do that, to give them the best experience I can. I love, it's kind of like, come on, Princess! Princess! Let's go, good girl. Come on, here! Kind of like a safari, almost, if you will. Sometimes you'll hear me talking differently to different dogs. When you're out here in the wild, a lot of stuff can happen, for lack of a better term, and one of my sayings I think you've seen is always expect the unexpected. So we have the proper equipment with us, leashes, running into stray dogs, spray to make a real loud noise in case I come upon a situation that needs to be eradicated in some way, as well as the dogs wearing the collar so I can tell where they're at all times. So that's how we keep it in line. Also, but you can have situations. I'm going to take off a little bit here, get them to chase me down the field. So they're behind me now, and I've got a mirror on so I can see everywhere they're at all the time. I keep them in visual. Now, with the GPS collar I'm using, it allows me to let them go out of range, essentially. They could go out of my sight view, and I could track them. This thing will track, as they say, 8 miles. That's not really realistic, but it's good for at least a couple of miles. You know, they say 8 miles in perfect conditions where you don't have any mountains, radio interference, etc. And everywhere we go, we have everything. So, but I know it's good for about 2 or 3 miles. But I don't usually let them out of my sight. The only time that might occur is if we're in cornfields as the crops start to mature at the different places we run, and they start. I'm going to try to give you a quick view here of them coming up the field. Zorro is straight ahead of me, but I'm going to turn it around so you can see them coming up. Come on, guys. Now, they might get confused and think I'm not coming. There are some houses that border this farm. But as I was saying, if we're running into, in the deep summer, where the crops are grown pretty high and the corn is there, then what I'll do is let them meander throughout the cornfields. They absolutely love it. Of course, they're looking to pick up on a scent. I'm going to turn here so they know where we're going. Come on, Princess! So they know where we're going. They're always got their attention on me for the most part. That's what you want to do and how you want to train them to do this particular sport. Come on, guys! And pretty much anything you do with dogs, you want their attention to be, you want them to be as focused as they can be on you, because otherwise it wouldn't allow us to do the things we do. And that's about establishing a pack daddy, as I call her, pack mama, and about about avoiding problems that if the dogs become alpha, if any of them then do, which you have alpha in a wolf pack, come on, guys, then that'll curtail some of the confrontations that may occur. So you are number one always, and that's how we're able to do what we do here. Because this is, if you read the books, I call myself a husky expert. If you read the books, everybody will tell you, never let a husky off leash. And that's very true, unless you've trained them properly. And one of the few ways to train them is the system that I use, because it's pretty much foolproof, and it guarantees, come on, guys! Now, sometimes you'll hear me, I'll raise my voice. They're more keen on the tone of your voice than sometimes what you're saying. So how I address them will tell what's going on. Now, I have to be cognizant also there are plenty, as I said, plenty of smells around here, and some of those smells lead to other animals. So therefore what we have to do, they're behind me, sorry they're out of view here, but they're coming up. So those smells can lead to other animals, and I just try to keep us clear as much as I can of other animals. We will come into contact with other wildlife, which we have, which include around here possums, raccoons, groundhogs. I'm sure there's some I'm missing, skunks, a lot of different animals. Here comes. No, Princess! Good girl. What happens there is, that's behind me, and I'm going to turn around so you can see. They're shortcutting me, which shortcutting is okay. Don't prefer it. What that means is they're anticipating the way I'm going. So they're not going to run the whole way, which is fine in some circumstances, but when you're training them, you don't want that to happen, because they're actually assuming you're going to go a certain way, so they focus on other things that catch their attention, which again goes against you wanting to keep them, you want to be on top of the situation. Come on, guys! So I let them do it because we go that way a lot, and we've done this so many times that there's a level of understanding there. But I will shake it up and go different ways a fair amount of time, because what could happen is they could be thinking I'm going one way and try to shortcut me, and there could be farm equipment or something coming that way. Or there could be an animal, as I turn my head, that I don't, come on, guys, that I don't quite get to see. And they could be on them. Come on, Princess. Good girl. Good girl. Princess. Good girl. And reason I'm sorry they're out of view here again. Here comes Zorro. He's right in front. And the reason I'm saying her name a couple times, sometimes Princess is a little headstrong there. She's the eldest of the bunch, as I said, but her and Chase sometimes wanna see who's a little more sportier, for lack of a better term. So sometimes they'll not quite bicker, but they'll argue a little, like siblings do. And to keep that from leading to something further, I'll keep their attention away from that, or just let them know that I'm in the house and that's unacceptable behavior. And it's all part of vying to be that alpha. And that occurs mostly with them. It can occur with any of them, though, but it occurs mostly with Princess and Chase. And the reason being is because when Chase was a youngster, remember I had Chase when he was 3 months old, 4 months old, and Princess was at that time around 6. And they played great together, but he didn't like it that she was always telling him how to play, for lack of a better term. So Chase says, I'm a grown man now. I can do what I want to do. And Princess says, I remember you when you were a little pup, and you can't do what you want to do. So that's why we get those kind of interactions between the two. But it's all good, and you're always going to have different pack behaviors throughout different dogs. So depending on the breed, and the Husky breed is a very independent breed, as I was saying earlier. So they're got a lot of wolf-like instincts in them, and that hierarchy of the wolf pack is what helps them function together as a pack. So that's tested constantly throughout their lives with different dogs and different family members, and that's why you always have to be, at least in a circumstance like this where their wild instincts come out, you always have to be ready and prepared to handle the situations that might arise between them. So letting them know that I'm in the house and there is a pack daddy on premise will keep them in line. I remember doing mushing up in Banff, Canada on a team of about, I think we had 19 dogs out there, and was learning from the musher up there, and that's what they did. They ran a dog sledding expedition service. So when we were mushing, I would hear the dog musher once in a while just whistle, and I'm like, oh, what are you whistling a tune there? And he's like, no, I'm whistling so the dogs know I'm in the house. Because remember, the dogs are in front of them, they're not looking at him, they don't necessarily know he's there, or know the musher's there, unless some noise is made. So he wanted to keep them, so that's a similar concept there. We're coming around, we're in the woods right now, folks, coming around to a stream. Streams meander a lot throughout the farms we go to, which is so wonderful to keep the wolf pack watered and keep their paws getting cool. And actually, Princess is very smart. She'll lay down in it as she's doing here. I'm going to turn the camera a little towards her so you can see. But she'll do that. There she is. She'll do that to cool her underside, where their internal organs lie, and that helps cool them down. That's one of the most effective ways of cooling them down. So always have to be cognizant. Even though we are free ranging here, free running, you want to be cognizant, especially the temperatures heat up, that they don't overdo it. So I'm always looking for signs with them. Now, I've gone so far, again, as I've put heart rate monitors on my Huskies and actually monitored them, tried to figure out target heart rates, etc. I was a little bit ahead of my time talking to my veterinarian. He explained at the time, there were no target heart rates for dogs, and right now I'm not sure there is either. Of course, the horse racing industry is so big, they have that mastered. They know proper heart rates, target heart rates, etc. There's been studies done on them to maximize a horse's performance. But because what I'm doing is so unusual, for lack of a better term, there's no real research, and dogs, they're not used in sports like that. Well, they are dog racing, but that's another story. So I was ahead of my time trying to figure out a target heart rate, which was beyond my scope. Talked about veterinarian. We were going to do some studies on it. We hadn't gotten that far, but I hope to resume that with him in the near future. And we're just taking a chill break in. Right now, I'm going to give you let me tell you what we've got in right now. Just a quick little bit. And that was a mile and a half. So we could stay out of here anywhere from 4 to 10 miles. It's all on the dogs, all on what's going on the farm, where I can get to. Usually I can stay here all night if I wanted to. It's mostly the dogs that dictate how far we go. Excuse me, I'm going to take a quick zip here. Okay, so we got now Princess is getting up. And Jag! Here, Jag! So, I'm going to page Jag because he went a little further than I wanted to. Now, this is easy because what you do is, and it's not that he's really far. It's he's 40 feet from me, so he's actually close. He's right around there. He is. So what I did was page him, just hit the button, and it sends an audio tone to him, so he can know that I'm looking for him. And that's Jag, and that's Chase. Zara's behind me, and we're going to get ready to go. Come on, guys. Let's do it. Free. And I'm going to try to put the camera up ahead of me again. Hope you're getting a good view. Again, anybody, if you have any questions, please, by all means, go ahead and type them to me. I am out right now, free-ranging live. Come on, Chase. And you're on Facebook watching it. It's pretty cool stuff. Technology's unbelievable what we can do. So, right there was a little bit of a rut. So you might have heard the machine. I'm on an electric ATV, by the way. Don't know if you haven't seen that yet. I'll try to show you that when we stop next time. But we are back in the woods right now, and we are rolling. So I haven't seen any questions come across the board there. Please, by all means, any questions, I'd love to answer them. This is Chase closest to me right now. We've got Princess right ahead of him, and Jag's there, and there's Zorro. So we're all getting ready to cross another stream as the stream flows. So pretty incredible stuff if you think about this. This is like observing dogs in the wild because they have the freedom to do whatever they want, pretty much however they want, maintaining to certain boundaries, few and far between though, as you see. And I know they know this route, and I'm usually pretty much the same on this route. I'm sorry, Princess was holding me up a little bit there. She's picking up on a scent. She's okay. She always picks us right back up. She is behind me, and the Z-Man is straight in front. Now you'll notice Zorro, who's straight out there, he had stopped and wait for me. What's supposed to happen is, hey there, hi, Khalid, how are you? I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. Thanks for dropping by. Come on, Princess! So, they're supposed to wait when they get out of range from me, maybe say 65, 70 yards, if they do turn a corner and they're away from me. Now, Princess, she got a little far behind, so I had to say her name, and she came running up. Come on, guys. So they're unsure. When I stop, they're unsure which way I'm going. Come on. So, and we're kind of just meandering along through here. You can see her taking a sip there, too. And that's her and Chase climbing together right there. Now, I've got to be careful here. Besides broadcasting the show here, folks, this is somewhat rough terrain. It's been raining here a lot, as I said. Come on, Princess, in my earlier post. So I could actually get stuck here. There is what I do have on this ATV. I do not have a winch, sorry. I do not have one, so I do have four-wheel drive. But because this area is usually not as treacherous as some of the other places goes, we haven't installed a winch on this vehicle. You can see all four of them now in front of me. They're just trotting along, having a good time. And notice the pace. They're free. I mean, if they want to take off, they can run pretty much as fast as they can run because I can keep up with them. This thing will do close to 30 miles per hour. Again, you don't hear a motor because this is electric. Come on, guys. This is electric. So, Zorro stopped for a set. Now, what happened there was pretty interesting. That was, hi, Lynette, how are you? Good to see you. Good question. Lynette's asked if I've been free-ranging them from pups, and I have, actually. But Princess I didn't have as a pup. I got her when she was 4 years old. She came to me, and she had never been off-leash. So that was quite a task, and she's very, very dominant, for lack of a better term. So she was challenging to teach some off-leash activities too, but it went really well. And usually the way I train them, I know some of you are going to think that it sounds a little bizarre, but I can usually do it in 3 training sessions. I can train them pretty much off leash. Now, to start getting real comfortable and doing everything we do, that could take a couple months, relatively speaking. But to be off leash, I can do in three outings. Understood that, unfortunately for a lot of people, come on guys, come on. Unfortunately for a lot of people, that free ranging off-leash doesn't mean a lot, because there's not a ton of areas you can take them to, which is understandable. Dog parks, of course, you can go to, but in other settings, everywhere is so crowded now, and there's no Jack. Good boy. He went on the other side of the fence, which is fine. Come on, Princess. But I don't like him to get used to that, and he knows better. That's why he came right back. He knew exactly what I was talking about. What happens is sometimes the livestock's in there. The cattle, could be donkeys around here, could be horses, whatever. And he's okay with that, because the one place, I don't know if you saw us, we go to in the Shenandoah, we actually ride through the field and we mingle with the cattle all the time, the cows, and it's actually a wonderful experience. Of course, we did it slowly. We took our time learning about it, the pups and the cattle, introducing them, but it went really well. So, but I like to keep them out of there, because they're not supposed to go in the fenced area, and they have to respect fences. In fact, some of the places we go, like where I do the mazing chase, we have a fenced area that we keep them in. It's about 4 acres. They can go anywhere around it, but I don't want them going past it, even though the land is, the farmer, the people that live there say I can go all over it. I want to be sure we're within our reins and our means. So that keeps them that way too. And another thing at home, you'll find this unusual. This is a beautiful scene, by the way, if you can see this. It's not a puddle. It's actually a stream, part of the stream. And Princess is, she's in a deep part, actually. Because the rains have been high, it's deep in some areas. So this is a free-flowing stream. Fresh water's coming through. That's why we stop here, take a drink. At my house, in a lot of areas, and I know this is a big no-no, a lot of people say, well, don't do that. What we will do is, I have a fence there that's only 5 foot high. And I don't think you've ever heard of huskies staying in that kind of fence. And the only reason mine do, they've grown up with it and understand it, is because of all the activity we get, and I attribute to all the free ranging we do. So they get to sow their wild oats out here in the field, and they're comfortable at home. Actually, believe it or not, at home, a lot of times they want to be in their crates. Dogs, I'm sure a lot of people understand dogs feel very comfortable in the crates, but they want to get back to their crates. They like to catch up on as much rest as possible, because we have a pretty full schedule running and free ranging and fur wheeling. That's when we're on the bike and chasing the flag and all the stuff we do. So, and I contribute that to the reason being, when they're in the house yard, for lack of a better term, they don't want to be inside. They're like, there's no excitement here. And the fence also keeps most of the wild animals out where we live. I'm talking local wild animals from the house. So, we still get raccoons and some other animals. So, have to be careful with that at home too. That can create confrontations, like everybody. We're coming up on a beautiful pond here, and the wolfpack likes to chill here and get their paws wet, as well as take a dip in a zip. So the real swimmers here are only one. Is Chase. The closest besides him, is Princess. She'll swim a little bit too, or close to it. You see your question here. Thank you so much, Lynette. I'm so glad. This is not my property. Yeah. Got farm equipment coming through here, actually. And you'll see that they're spreading some slurry around. So, we always have to be careful of the farm equipment. As I said, stay, guys! And I'm going to give you a shot of them. They're all right here. So, the farmers obviously all know me here. This is not my land, by the way, and that's the wonderful part about this whole thing. I don't know if you can see it, but Princess is doing her little rollover. This is not my land, and that's truthfully the beautiful part of this. I don't have to take care of this property. I mean, I love it, and I absolutely love being here, but I have an agreement with the farmer, and that's what I wanted to suggest to people everywhere, because there's land everywhere, unless, you know, you're in a real urban setting, unless you're more of in a city setting, of course, you're not going to find it as much. But there's so much land everywhere, and that gives you the chance to maybe go and find the owner of that land. We're talking pretty good acres, to see if you could possibly, anybody out there could possibly rent it. Come on, guys! Zorro, Chase, good boys, could possibly rent the land, like I do, and for a minimal amount of money. I mean, the farmers usually are happy to get anything. The biggest problem the farmers have is if your dogs, or the dog, if you're going to have them off leash like I'm doing, is going to hurt their cows, their cattle, their livestock, I should say, because, of course, they don't want any of that. They're doing this for a living, and that would be a big problem. And it would be a big problem for the dogs, too. So farmers are not very trustworthy, I find, and through the contacts I've made, I networked myself really well, and all the videos. Now, this is really interesting. We got Jag. He'll do this. He's on the other side of the pond. Now, he's running to cut us off because he wants to attack his pal Chase. Come on, guys! No! Good boys. Come on! Here! I hear some... Okay, here comes a little confrontation. This is a good kind of confrontation. Come on, guys! Here! Come on! Good boys. That was, sorry, I can't show you everything on camera. I wish you were out here with me. I wish everybody could be out here with me, because it's so much fun when we get the play from the guys and the girl. That was Chase and Jag harassing each other, for lack of a better term. Now I'm going to turn the camera sideways just to show you where we're running. And I don't know if you can see that, but come on, guys! Come on, here! And I'm talking a little loud because sometimes there's wild animals around here. So just want to keep everything as cool as possible. I'm trying to give you a side view. It's part of me if I can't see all the questions. Because they're running on the side of me now. And usually Zorro and Chase are in the front. Princess is usually third. And again, she's the oldest. And Jag is usually last, just because Jag, we call him Lazy Bones. He's a couch potato. I mean, he gets out here and does it all well. But he's very efficient, likes to preserve his energy, so he can have the most when they see something they all want to go after. If there's a wild animal they want to chase, and I let them do that to a very limited extent, of course. Or if if they want to race, he preserves all his energy for the competitiveness. So he's very smart at that. He doesn't have to be in front until it's something worthwhile being in front for. So we're making a turn here, and we've done about maybe half the farm. Actually, when we get back to the pond, we'll have looped the bottom half one time. So that's probably 3/4 of the mile away. Come on, guys. And this is a very, what do I feed them? Come on, guys. Good question, and thank you again, Lynette, for asking. I feed them actually a raw diet, and there's a lot of progress, or a lot of, I should say, education, learning, studies that have been done with dog food more recently than when I go back to, because in the beginning when I started what they call, I know this is going to sound terrible, barfing bones and raw food. When I started barfing the dogs, sounds really crude, but it does have a meaning, like I said, a good acronym. There wasn't as much study on it or research, and I was basically anti-kibble at that time because of everything I read and what I knew. I used to make my dogs all their own food, and it was really messy. Used to use a juicer and a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. It was all good, and it worked. They did really well for me. But since then, and I'm going back probably 10 years ago, I found a raw diet that was commercially available. Come on, guys, and wasn't I could get locally. Come on, it wasn't cost prohibitive. So I started getting these patties that come frozen. Jag, come on, good boy. The patties come frozen. Come on, guys. And I actually feed it to them frozen. So you probably won't find many like me who do that. And I've been doing it for years. And actually I've had a long talk with my veterinarian about that, what he thinks. And it's actually had good results. You see, in the wild, their ancestors, of course the wolves, are capable, and almost all dogs, of eating frozen foods because that's the way they have to survive in the colder months. So to be able to chew it, break it down, and digest it is a natural part of their anatomy or their digestive system. And I find they love it frozen. But even more importantly, it slows them down and paces them really well to eat their food. So if you have a dog that inhales his food, I know I've used the bowls too when I fed kibble in the past to slow them down from eating too fast and possible bloat, which is a very serious issue. The frozen food prevents that because they're just like chewing a bone. I don't give them any bones, though. I used to be a big proponent of it, to where I would feed them different bones. Never a cooked bone. Cooked bone is the worst. That's why they say, actually, I'm not going to, well, I will go on the record. It's okay. You can feed dogs, come on, guys, actually, raw chicken bones. Come on. You can feed, you actually can. I'm not telling you to do it. I've done it for years in the past. Because when they're cooked, they become almost rubberized, and they have a chance of splintering and damaging the dog's nervous system, and that's where you get all these problems, all these blockages from really cooked bones, at least chicken bones. Come on, guys. Now they're picking up on a scent here. Oh! Gotta approach this carefully because we're coming onto some private houses that border this field. And actually the farmer that owns this farm, he used to own all this property, and because it's a family thing. No, Jag! Jag, here! Jag, cheat! Good boy, cheat! Come on, guys! Good boys. They want to go that way because they're picking up on the scent. So Jesus, sled dog, come in. Come on, Chase. Zara. Come on. Good boys. I know there's a couple house dogs that live over there. So you'd be surprised of what is told out there about the different foods, and believe me, I'm not the most knowledgeable, but I'm pretty knowledgeable. Come on, guys. So, but in any case, by today's standards, there are all kinds of foods that are good out there, not just frozen. And raw foods are not always the best for every dog. So it all depends on the dog and the situation. Really now, a lot of veterinarians, they do these custom designed diets that They can design specifically for your dog, which is kind of cool too. Now what I'm doing is Jag's getting a little far. He's shortcutting me, and I don't want him to. So I'm calling, good boy, Jag, come on. And remember, whenever your dog does what you want him to do, always, I'm going to give you guys a view here, I'm sorry, always praise. It's one of the most important things you can do. That keeps them happy, and it tells them they're doing a good job. That's so important. We all like a little praise. So basically, this is a long field. They change these fields, and that's common in farming, to what they plant for them year to year. So one year they might do corn, one year they might do soybeans, one year they might just do hay. And I'm taking a big loop here. They just came through here. Come on, guys. They're going to come this way. Come on, Jag! Here! Jag! Good boy! They're coming back through here, so... Come on, guys! This is so cool. Sorry you guys can't see this, because I see the farm truck coming, so I'm shortcutting the farm truck. They're all... Come on, Jag! Good boy! That's my good boy. So Jag is probably a football field and a half, 150 yards or so away from me. And because he was shortcutting me, as I said. And he's coming back towards me now because, sorry you can't see this, because I just paged them. And they're not real motivated about coming back the same way they've came. Come on, guys! Especially, come on, Jag! Good boy. He thinks, Jag's so smart, he thinks I'm going to turn around and tell him to come back. I've done that before, too. And you might hear me, I'm just paging. Come on, good boy. Good girl, Princess. Good boy, Jag. And I'm just trying to get out of the farm. Come on, Jag. Good boy. Let's go, guys. Let's go. So now we're on the move again. They're all behind me within like 15 yards. Ooh, just did a nice little groundhog hole. And we're going to backtrack the way we came. And I'm going to let dogs get in front of me for your viewing pleasure, folks. Princess is right in front. And here they come. Here comes the crew. Good boy, Jaggy. Good girl, Princess. Actually, it looks like Pretty Princess wants to take a break, so we're going to stop right here. I'm going to keep the film rolling, if I can speak right, and let them meander around a little bit. If you have any more questions, now's a great time. So Princess is actually laying right next to the ATV. We've got in right now, folks. I'm going to show you on the screen, and this will be Chase's stats. I don't know if you could see that, but it's 3.13 miles. Thank you so much. Trying to see the name here. Carissa. I hope I'm saying that right. Thank you so much. You just commented how beautiful it is. It's really beautiful here. We're very fortunate. Zara? Now Zara's digging over there in the wood pile. So I had to call his attention and get him to come out of there. Come on, good boy. Zara. Good boy. Just because that's where the critters hide, of course. And I don't want him to chase something out of there. Princess is right in front, marking a little bit of her territory. That's what princesses do. I'm going to move you to the left now so you can watch. That's Jag and Chase. And come on, Zara. Good boy. Princess, good girl. So don't like to tell them too many times because that overshots what you're doing. They need to know. Zara. They need to know that, hey, I got to listen to Dad when he says it the first time, or at least the second time. Princess, she just took a seat again. You can see Jag. He's so beautiful laying there field. Excuse me a minute. I have to take a picture. This is just a good picture. You might see this one on Facebook tomorrow. just a light breeze on him. And it really, 3 of them have the blue eyes. Good boy, Zorro. 3 of them have the, Zorro's not, he's out of the wood pile and he's looking at it saying, I wish I could go in there, but Dad says no. And there's Chase. So 3 of them have the blue eyes, and when the sunlight hits, it's just gorgeous. Chase actually has the brown eyes, or almost a golden look to his eyes that give that wolf-like appearance. I actually think he looks like a wolf more than any of them because he's got the tall, lanky build of a wolf. He lopes like a wolf, and the golden eyes really make it. The other 3 have blue eyes, Princess, Zorro, and Jag. Chase, by the way, has a little marbleization, and those of you that are familiar with Huskies know that a little marbleization is pretty common in the Huskies, where they'll get different colored eyes, bi-eyed, common to get a blue and a brown eye. Marbleization is a little more of a speck or a spot or little merging of 2 colors in the eyes. So Chase has a little bit of blue. We call it the glimmer in his eye, and it's really beautiful. So they're chilled. See how content and comfortable they are. And again, we've done 3 miles. It's a little warm out here, and it gives them just the sense of freedom. They can do what they want. But I'd like to repeat to you, I understand that it's hard for a lot of people to get out there in this predicament. But I don't own this land, and none of the farms I go to do I own. I have an agreement with the farmer that allows me to take the dogs there, and I just came up with this idea as rules and regulations became stricter and stricter for leash laws, and I said, hey, I can't run my dogs. A lot of times, to learn what we do here, Zorro, stay out of there, buddy. A lot of times what I would do is take them to a school late at night, early in the morning, before anybody was there. And it would give us the chance to run. Zorro, Chase. And to free range, if you will, be off leash without without violating any leash laws, relatively speaking. But as places become more and more populated, more and more people got my idea, and they started doing that, and it became too competitive. So we can't do that anymore. So I said, hey, where's there a lot of land that I can go and possibly get somebody to let me run the dogs there? So I networked out and talked to everybody I know, got some ideas. Hey, let me contact some farmers. And it took me a lot to convince them, as I've said. But the end result was getting them to let me run the dogs. And there's also other places, like we go to this horse track, and that is one of the few other horse tracks. Maryland's a big horse state and horse racing state, as you're aware. The Preakness is here. So there's a lot of horse stuff going on in the state. I'm not a big horse person, but I found one of the few places where there's a track where they take horses to work out, train, whatever. And I said, hey, why not? You think they'd let the dogs do this? And I just had to convince them my dogs were under control and they could do it, and that's all it took. And they let me do that. Of course, I have to pay there. Some places you're going to have to pay. Some places you may not, depending on the circumstances. And you check around, network. You might know people in your family, know people that own. It doesn't even have to be a farm. 5-10 acres is decent, depending on what you're doing. And there goes the truck again. I'm looking out for the farm equipment. Good girl. Princess looks like she's ready to roll. So I let her dictate that stop, but they all seemed like they wanted to stop. So come on, guys. Good boy, Chase. Come on, Zara. So what I'll do is I'm going to jump ahead there. Come on, guys. Jagster. Good boy. Once they see I'm going in a certain direction, they'll meander, which I don't mind. Just don't want them to go in the other direction, obviously, like I was saying. But as long as I'm the focus on them, they're going to see where I'm going. It's just like, I don't know if you've ever heard this, but of course if your dog would ever get off leash and you weren't expecting it, you were in a situation where you wanted your dog to come to you and he wasn't listening. If you turn and walk the other way, that will encourage them to come to you. Okay, now I'm going to stop right here. It's a great area for them to get some water, and I'm going to try to show you this as much as possible. Hello, guys. I'd walk down there, but I'm on a corded microphone. Unfortunately, the way this technology is, these live broadcasts, I'm doing it through the phone. I can't be on a wireless mic at this time. I'm trying to work that out. So I can't. What I would do is normally go down there. I don't know if you can see. Zorro's in the stream right here. I don't know if you can see that. There he is. And Princess is coming behind Zorro. So let's see what I can see. Yep, that's Princess and Zorro. And this stream is great because it's shallow and it's long and it gives them easy access to get a dip and zip. That's my favorite line there. Get the pads wet. Dogs are obviously real inefficient at cooling. So they emit heat through their pads. So that's a great place to cool them. Get their pads wet, get it in even a bucket of water sometimes, like a little that they used to sell, which I have, a little cup you dip the pad in when you're running. Their paw gets their pads, which is most important, as well as, like I said, their underbelly. It helps them as well. So what you have now is you're looking at, and again, this is all live, so cool technology. You're looking at the three of them, which is Zorro, Chase, and Jag. Zorro just got out. And Princess is over here. She's eating a little grass while Zorro rolls in the grass. And I'll take you back there. And this is just so wonderful. I love it. I can't get enough of it. And I'm going to take a couple pictures so I've got some to share with the people that can't tune in for this live broadcast. Just got Chase. It was so funny. He was peeking over through the stream. Zorro's rolling around. So right now, folks, I'm going to give you the breakdown. We've got in just a little more mileage than last time, 3.25 miles right now. We couldn't, I don't know if you saw us detour, we couldn't continue the way we were at because the farm truck was coming through. So I always yell at the farm truck. It's a good idea. He's bigger than me. And by the way, when you the dogs need to know how to come to me or come to whoever, the pack daddy, pack mama, when you're out doing a activity like this off leash instantly. So when I call them, they should come to me, especially because here we run into a lot of farm equipment, and that's what they need to know how to do. So if we run into something, I can get them to me and put them in what we call a plots or a down position, and we can wait patiently for the truck or farm equipment to pass. So we're all doing great. If you have any questions, please type them in, comments, anything you'd like to hear from me. I'm yours right now. I explained before, by the way, this vehicle I'm in is electric. Maybe it's a good time to show you. I can't really do it. It's hard to just mount the camera, excuse me. So we're on a battery here, basically. And kind of like the bikes I run. I love battery-powered stuff because it emits no noise pollution or fuel pollution. I mean, there's some other problems, like everything else has a cost associated with it because it's battery operated, but seems to be the lesser of the evils, especially for what we're doing. And it gives us a chance gives me a chance and the dogs a chance to hear each other. And there's other animals that are approaching us, whatever the case may be. And you might see across the way, the hillside, that's where the cattle are behind. Well, they're in that yard or area sometimes. This is a huge place, so I don't always know where they're at. And Princess is laying down beside me. She's such a cutie. And the other three are right there. I'm getting them on camera for you. See, the stream is really great. You should. Oh, I guess you can hear it. No, I don't know if you can hear it. It's like a babbling brook. It's so comfortable here, I could fall asleep. But I won't do that because I'm live broadcasting. Please go ahead, ask me questions, whatever. The action is a little on the slower side today because of the warmer weather, and this is how we treat it this spring or summer. Huh. Oh, it's a machine down there. I heard something was kind of unusual. I've seen coyote out here at this farm, so you never know what you're going to run into, which is kind of cool. But I thought I heard some growl. Was really peculiar. There's nothing there. Let me check. Just taking these pictures again as we see all the beautiful sights around here. Truly a magnificent place. Good boys. I'm just whistling at them. I don't know if you can see them in the far left corner of the screen. Hey Thomas, thanks for joining. And he's asking, what's the weather like? Where I'm at now, and what type of weather is there? The type of weather these guys like is Arctic temperatures. Believe it or not, I mean, they just, the colder it is, the more they thrive. So this weather's warm to them. We're in the high 60s, low 70s right now. Sunny day. It was overcast and a bit rainy this morning, which is nice because it made the ground wet, which their paws come into contact with, of course, as we're running, and it helps cool them as well. But, yeah, they prefer, they're digging down there now, they prefer it cool to cold. That's the best. And that's where they thrive. And I wouldn't have the time to stop if the weather was like that, because they'd keep going and going and going, because it's they're much more efficient, because like I was saying, they're not efficient at cooling themselves, so the colder weather keeps them cool, and they